Had it yesterday, but now I
Baby
can't remember
Creed
it.
2. Welcome
Oh
to
my
episode
gosh.
67 of the Elbow Nudge Podcast.
I'm Caroline. This is Tony, and today we're watching Commit.
That was good, right?
Yeah, that was pretty good.
We're right in it.
Today we're watching.
Oh, Baby Creed 2. I didn't say Baby Creed 2 at the beginning.
You did, but I just thought that was part of the intro, and we usually always at least state what movie we're watching.
All right, ask me one more time.
And today we're watching
Creed 2.
There we go. A real reading.
Welcome.
Tony, we liked this movie so much. Well, we liked this series so much, we're talking about it twice. We're back.
We're back. We were going to decide to talk about a different movie. Well, we were thinking about a different movie, but once
We
you
had
heard the
some-
premise of Creed 2,
Yes.
you changed your
yes.
mind completely.
I was on board with Creed 2.
Yeah.
Just from hearing, and all you had to do was tell me, how did you say it? It was like,
I said it like this. Let's see if we can reenact it.
yeah.
He's like, oh, do you know the plot of Creed 2?
No, I don't. What's it about?
Like, oh, you just wait. Does the
I'ma look it
word
up.
Drago mean anything to you?
No way.
No way.
And that was it. I was in. I was like, we're
That was
watching
it.
Creed 2. That's it. It has occurred to me that our last episode was episode 66. We were so absorbed with Creed, we did not make a Star Wars joke at all.
Oh, we didn't even plan a Star Wars episode.
No, we did it for episode 66, and we didn't do anything remotely Star Wars related, and that's like the meme.
Wow. Sorry, Davey.
I'm sorry, Davey and Josh. We let y'all down. But
Sorry, Josh.
we were just so absorbed in Creed. And I mean, can you blame us? This is such a good movie. It was amazing. It was really good.
So you saw Creed 2.
I have seen Creed 2.
I've seen it as well.
That's good. I
Have
hope
you seen
so.
Creed 3?
No, I haven't.
I haven't either. Yeah, I've been putting it off. I don't know why.
So
Actually, I've been pretty busy at work.
Yeah, I've been pretty busy too. But we're not here to talk about Creed 3. We're here to talk about Creed 2.
Creed 2. So what did you think about Creed 2?
You know, Tony, I'm a little mixed.
Yeah. Okay, why?
I'm a little mixed. And that's like something that has been bothering me, even just in my hindbrain all day. I saw it last night, and
I'm excited to hear this. Yes.
While I was watching, just something felt off. Something just felt a little off. And that's just the thing. I don't know what it is. I don't know. I can't pinpoint it. I feel like the movie hits a lot of the notes that I wanted it to hit, but something just feels missing.
Can you talk it out? Do you feel like you can get to it? This is what this episode is going to be about.
I was going to say, can you draw it out of me? I feel like if you ask me the right questions, I might be able to pinpoint it in my brain, but...
All right. Well, first I'll say I brought it up for the Creed episode. When I saw Creed 2, I was thinking Creed 1 is still better.
Yes, absolutely.
At this point, I've seen Creed 2 3 times.
Okay.
Then I watched it again with my sister and my brother-in-law, and then it raised it. I'm like, wait a second. This is actually pretty good. And then I saw it a third time, and now I'm thinking, is this even better than the first one? But let's go back to the beginning. I thought it was underneath Creed 1, and I was trying to think about it too, but I think it was because they came back, they revitalized the franchise, and they paid homage and respect to the entire franchise, and it was pretty much perfectly done. Mm-hmm. And then Creed 2, I think, are they trying to find the fight for Donnie? Are they trying to find a reason to keep this franchise going? I thought that for a little bit, but I don't think that anymore. I think this movie is the movie we were building up to. I don't know what Creed 3 is about, but I think this is a definitive Creed story. This is going up against Drago, the family that killed Donnie's father.
Yeah, the father that killed his father.
Yeah.
And I completely agree with that whole line of thought with this is the movie they were building up to. This is the premise they wanted to get to, but they didn't want to like skip a
Start
step.
off with
So
it. Yeah.
yeah, so and we got the perfection that was Creed 1. But something about Creed 2, and don't get me wrong, I liked the movie. There were a lot of great scenes. I have quotes that I wrote down. We will get to it. But just right off the bat, something about it made me not as I didn't feel it. And maybe
It's
it's
not
like
Ryan Coogler.
well, I don't know how much that plays into it. Like, obviously, he's the director, but like, okay, it's not Ryan Coogler. It is Ludwig Göransson with the score. The
Okay.
score is good. It didn't have as many, like, there were two standout moments in this movie that the score was like perfection. And I love the
Okay, so the
score.
score is good. What about the story? Not in depth, just in general. Let's see if we could find it.
I
Did you
mean,
like the story?
I love the premise because that's obviously what dragged me in
Okay.
was like, okay, we're doing this. But
Is Donnie
maybe
still good? Is Rocky still good? Is Bianca still good? Do you like everybody who returned?
with with Donnie, I always feel like he has to win me over again. Like not like
Again?
again, but well, like I mean,
Well, you have to warm up to him.
yeah, I loved him in the first movie. I was like, oh, I love this dude. You're a Creed, like, and I love you, kid. Like I felt it,
Yeah.
but I felt like in this movie, I had to warm up to him again, and it took a little bit longer to warm up to him. But at the same
Okay,
time,
that explain why. Explain why for that one.
I feel like he's so angry in this movie. And I maybe it's because I idolize Rocky too much. I hate the way he treats Rocky. Um I just feel like he's really prideful and he doesn't articulate enough and in the sense that like he's just so angry. The scene that kind of I don't know how you took it or how other people took it, but I was feeling kind of like sad for him when he has little baby Amara in the little seat in the little I don't know the name of it. But and he's there at like the training at the gym and he's just punching the bag and yelling. Like I felt sad for him, but I was like, he's so angry. I don't know. There's
I
a
could
lot of
get that.
frustration coming out of him in this movie.
Yeah, I could get that. That's actually why I like him. Because I agree. Like the way he talks to Rocky, especially when he just lost the first fight to Victor, and
Mm-hmm.
then he's like, "Look at me. You know, you came to pick up the pieces." And then Bianca's like, "Hey, it's Rocky. You know, like watch how
Yeah,
you're
like
speaking to him. That's Rocky." And then Rocky's like, "No, no, it's okay. It's okay." Yeah, it's rude and it's like, dude, did you forget like this guy trained you? He's here for you. He loves you, but I like that. I want to see the struggle. I don't want it to be just so perfect. And that's what we know Donnie to be. He's very emotional, gets angry quickly, quick to react, and it's one of his strengths and one of his weaknesses, oddly enough. But
mm-hmm.
yeah, that's what got him into the first fight with Victor. That's what made him lose. You know, he was quick to react. And I like seeing that in the main character. I like that he's not just perfect. You know, he has problems. He has things that he has to work through and fix. And yeah, but I totally see your point on that. He is angrier this movie. Do you feel like he's angrier than the first Creed?
Oh yeah, absolutely. I feel like he's a lot angrier in this movie.
Yeah, I mean, this is more personal to him, so that makes sense.
And I a lot of it, I want to defend him. Like a lot of it is justified. There's a lot riding on this fight and from what people are saying and it even and I agree with the sense that he's like a complete opposite of Rocky because in even like in Rocky 4 and all these other movies Rocky never listens to what other people say. He only fights because he absolutely has to, or, just other circumstances and things like that, or he wants to fight. But it's always like a struggle for him to fight. Whereas Adonis is just, he wants to fight. He's very much the opposite. He wants to fight, he wants to have at it. And I do like that in him. But it just felt like, I'll give it some praise because I really like the beginning where Rocky is like, why do you want to fight? Why do you want to fight? And it's like, I know why they want you to fight, but why do you want to fight? And I was so glad that that question was being asked in the beginning. And maybe it's just like my frustration with his choices throughout the movie. And obviously he grows and stuff. And of course, by the end of it, I still, not even by the end, by the training montage and everything, by the time Amara was born, I love him again. You know, I'm warmed up. But it's just that initial, I don't know. He's just got a lot of anger.
And that was already throwing you off for the rest of the movie.
Yeah, yeah.
All right. Well, I could definitely see that. I'm not even gonna, try to push back on that. I get it. But yeah, I just liked it. Like I said, I like that it's not perfect. That everything is not just working perfectly. That Rocky just decides to train him to fight Victor right from the beginning. I love how it was all something that they had to go through together, and that's why I love Donnie. He's kind of
He's
a
a
broken man on the inside.
he's a
He still
fighter.
has a lot he has to go through,
Yeah.
especially growing up without a dad and trying to find his identity, his way in the world.
You know what? That is something that like really touched me in the movie is that especially in that scene where he's in the hospital after the first fight and Rocky comes to see him, you can really see like the I give so much credit to Michael B's acting in this. You can even see like the abandonment issues in him from losing both his parents and never having a dad and then his mom dying and even like the look in his eyes when Rocky walks away after being like, "No, it's okay." And he just leaves. You can even kind of see it in Donnie's eyes of like, "No, no, no, come back. I want to fight with you." Like that's how I settle things.
Yeah, like he wants to go through that. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, he wants to have at it and fight with him about it, but Rocky is very much like passive and like, "No, no, I don't want to fight. I'll leave." And that's what Donnie doesn't want. He doesn't want people to leave him.
I like that scene where he's on the bed because, yeah,
Mhm.
the way he's talking to Rocky, the way he looks, also he's just crying. He's like pitying himself. That's what I want to see, not just someone who has it all figured out.
I did like seeing that internal struggle and I wish I could put a name to it, but something when we got to that part of the movie, that's when I felt like the real movie started for me in a way. Where it's like we've got this struggle, we've got this who am I, what am I fighting for kind of thing.
All right, so what about the build up to the first fight though? Because I thought that was really good. Obviously, he wanted Rocky to
Mm,
train him again. He asked him. Well, he didn't really ask him. He said, "I'm going to take the fight,"
I'm gonna take the fight, yeah.
and that was a good conversation right outside Rocky's house.
Yeah. That
When
hurt.
Rocky tells him like he should have threw in the towel when his dad, when it was his dad in the ring with Ivan.
Yeah. I'm trying to remember what Donnie says where he's like at towards the end of that conversation where he's like, "And what good has that got you, huh? What have you got here?"
Yeah, then he goes off on Rocky. I know one of the lines he says is like, "All right, well, at least you don't have to worry about throwing in the towel."
Oh,
Like
yeah.
basically like, "All right, well, I could die in the ring and you're not going to be there.
Yeah.
Try to live with that."
It's like, "Hey, yo, Donnie, chill."
But Rocky's line, because I forgot the exact conversation, exactly what words they used, but
Yeah.
Rocky didn't approve. Donnie wanted to fight, and he's telling him like you shouldn't. Like they know it's a. Oh no, that was Creed 1. They didn't use that line. I was gonna say they know it's a done deal. That's why they're asking for the fight, but no, that wasn't it. Rocky just saw that Victor
That
was just
that guy's got nothing to lose, and guys with nothing to lose are dangerous.
yeah. He's like I'm dangerous, and I was like,
Mm,
Rocky didn't
you got
agree, but
everything to lose.
yeah. But also he said like he's a I don't know if he said it in that conversation, but they mentioned how he's a brute. He's just
Yeah,
raw in the ring.
he's a beast. Oh my
And
gosh.
we'll get to that. We got to talk about that.
That
But
ain't no pretty Ricky Conlon. That's a real
nah, this
fighter.
this is a Russian through and through.
Wow.
But I wanted to bring up the line where Rocky said, like he regretted how it happened with him and his dad, and because Donnie calls him out and said like you fought him, you beat him. He's like, yeah, but he broke things in me that never got fixed.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Wow.
I'm like,
Wow.
man, Rocky's wise in old age.
He
He
really
ain't some
is.
bum.
He ain't no bum. That's
No.
Rocky. That's Rocky Balboa right there.
And he said I should have thrown in the towel. You know, that's something that he lives with every day now.
Mm-hmm. Oh, Rocky is the best. Just maybe I just idolize him too much and he wasn't in this movie enough. Maybe that's what I'm missing. I love him.
Yeah, I mean, I like that you said you felt mixed on it because I totally get it. But yeah, after several rewatches, I feel like this is very strong. I loved exactly how it played out. Like Creed, Adonis Creed is the champ now. And I love how the whole story plays out. Like he got brutally destroyed in his fight with Victor, and then he has to
Yeah.
recover. He has to figure his life out, and then he has to defend the title. Is he just going to let it go or take up the fight again? And I love leading up to the first fight where he goes to visit his mom, and then he's like, "Yeah, you know, I'm taking the fight," and she's like, "Well, what are you doing? You're a grown man. Why are you telling me? You don't need my blessings, and you clearly don't have Rocky's." Like, oh,
Oh,
she knows.
I
She
could hear the air
knows.
horns in the background there. Burr, 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 burr,
Yeah.
burr. Oh,
I'm like, ah, man, I just love
he's writing
that
checks that
dialogue.
his body can't cash. That's what he's doing.
Nah, his body did not cash those checks.
Uh-uh.
Uh-uh.
That first fight, I knew when that fight was coming up, I was like, wait, he's not fighting him already. I checked the time and I was like, he's going to lose. It was 45 minutes in and it wasn't even, it was like 30. And I was like, he's going to lose. We got
Yeah.
a whole movie. He's going to lose.
Yeah. But I love how that was done too, because now I'm gonna reference one of my favorite lines in Rocky 2, and the one that I like to bring
Oh,
up when we're just hanging out, but is when Apollo Creed when he said, "I won, but I didn't beat him." He won against Rocky,
yeah.
but he didn't beat
He
him.
beat him.
And this is the reverse. Victor
Yeah.
beat Donnie.
But he
He
didn't
beat him,
win.
but he didn't win. I'm like, "Oh,
Yeah.
man." And it's so
What was that line when he was being interviewed where it was like, how have you been since your loss against Creed? And he's like, what loss?
he's like, "What loss?"
It's
"I'm
like,
sorry, you're a
oh.
disqualification against." He didn't want to get beat up. Clubber Lang had a funny interview quote too, right? Where he's like, "Are you ready to?"
I love what you're asking me when I just saw this movie, but go on, go on.
You do you remember it? Like Clubber Lang being interviewed? He's like, "Oh, are you ready to take up the challenge of a rematch with Rocky?" He's like, "Rocky ain't no challenge, but I'll be happy to beat on him some more." You know,
Oh,
something
oh,
like
I pity the
that.
fool.
I don't think he said "I pity the fool" in the
He said
movie.
it. He
He
did.
did?
I wrote it down because I was so happy that he said it. He was like, I pity the
Oh,
fool.
okay. Well, he didn't say it in that line. I think he just said like, "I'll be happy to beat on him some more."
No, I think. Oh wait,
Rocky
I
ain't
think
no
yeah,
challenge.
it's after his loss, yeah, or something where he's like, I pity the fool.
After his loss, he would say that?
What was it after Rockies? Or
Oh, okay.
after yeah, that's when Mick died,
I
and
gotcha,
he's
I
like
gotcha.
interviewed again.
I gotcha. But yeah, it's just I just love when they got like interviews like that. It was like, "What loss?"
What loss?
But yeah, Victor, what do you think about Victor? Because now we have a challenger that's actually menacing.
It's interesting because that was the back like the side story that I was invested in. I was like,
Oh
oh, what's
yeah?
going on in Russia land? What's going on
Yeah,
over here?
Russia land, very cold, very depressing over there.
You know, I did not when they showed Moscow. This is my America brain speaking. I didn't know Moscow looked like that. I thought it was like a frozen wasteland. I was like, oh, it's
Yeah.
like modern. It's like a city.
Oh,
I
they
didn't
they
know that.
civilized in
Oh
the last
wow,
couple of years.
they've actually got electricity. It's not snowing. What?
Yeah.
I don't hear a constant husky. It's just I was like, oh wow, okay. It's like a metropolis. All right.
But the color grading, whenever you're in Russia, is always that color grading.
We got that
It's always
DC color
cold.
grading over here.
Yeah, it's dreary. It's depressing. It's like, why does anyone want to be there?
I was feeling all the emotions that Victor was feeling, especially like when his mom showed up. It's like, get her out of here. Why is she here? She abandoned him.
Yeah.
It's like she left us. You could
That was a
just
good storyline too,
that was a really good storyline. I dug that. I dug that a lot.
because
It
that's
was
kind of how it is. Like Ivan Drago, he made a big name for himself after
mhm.
being unbeatable for a while until Rocky came along. But and I don't know too much about this, but I know in Russia the government is very in support of sports and
Oh
like
my
they're
gosh.
like funded.
I watched this whole documentary called Bad Sport, and it covered this like thing in the Olympics about these it's a Canadian figure skating couple versus this Russian figure skating couple. And like the beginning of the documentary was just interviewing the girl of the Russian couple, and she was explaining how the process is for sports in Russia. They are very involved, and they are very like they put a lot of emphasis on the Olympics too, and their whole like championship and everything. So they start you off when you're young. She said that she was 7 years old when she went to skating class, and there was like a girl there watching them. She picked her out of like the class and said, "All right, you're going to Moscow. You're going to get trained to be an Olympic skater."
Yeah, I think I know the story you're talking about. I didn't see the documentary, but that's one of the stories that I've heard explaining like how Russia is involved in sports and Olympics and anything, wrestling and mixed martial arts. It's so that's why it makes sense in this movie where it's like, yeah, he would be like cast out for.
Yeah, part of that documentary was about how I don't like spoil the documentary, but I'm gonna spoil it. So if you don't want to hear the spoiler, skip ahead 15 seconds. She like lost her and her partner. They lost like this Olympics. They got really criticized and stuff. And they basically told her, like, that's it. We're gonna find somebody else now, somebody else to make the country proud, and you're out. And she like can't get a job. She has to like teach skating and barely, skate by and stuff like that. So it's real how that's it. Once you bring dishonor on the fatherland or whatever, you're done.
Yeah, on Mother Russia.
On
So yeah,
Mother
so you get
Russia.
it. So you saw this in the movie, you're like, okay, that's true because you already knew about that.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's exactly what Ivan went through. And man, it's good. It's good because I'm even thinking about how it ended. Final fight,
That
throwing in
was
the towel.
so sweet. That
Yeah.
that was so sweet. Even like the scene of him running next to Victor, and because
Oh yeah, yeah,
that
yeah,
whole
yeah.
movie, he is just on him. He is on Victor.
Like
Like,
break him.
yeah, even just training, he's like, when I tell you run faster, you run faster. It's like, dude,
Yeah.
give him a break. Has anybody asked Victor what he wants to do? Anybody ever
Nah,
ask
for what?
him?
When you're built like that, you're a fighter. That's it.
What if he's a lover, not a fighter? What if he just wants to go make cookies or something? I don't know.
Too late. Too late. He's a different beast now.
Poor
But
Victor.
yeah, like this is seeing Donnie in the ring with him. I was scared for him.
Oh, dude. That first
He's
fight,
taller than him. He's bigger than him.
I was like, every ounce of me wanted to go to Wikipedia and look up what was going to happen, but I didn't. I did not.
Okay.
But
You
I
watched it like
wanted
a movie.
to.
Very good.
I I watched it a movie the way a movie should be watched. Yes, yes.
Yeah, I'm proud of you.
Thank you. Thank you. It took every ounce of self-control I had in me, but I was like, he's gonna live, right? This isn't like Creed 2 the way that Rocky was Rocky 4,
Yeah.
right? Why are we here? I was scared for him. I was genuinely afraid of what was
Yeah.
gonna happen.
Yes. He is. It was like seeing Bane and Batman.
Oh,
Like
yeah.
when I saw Dark Knight Rises, I'm like, "Be careful, Batman!" And then he
I
broke his back.
wonder what would break first, your spirit
Doesn't he kind of look like Bane as well?
or your body. He does. He absolutely does. He's just got the height on what's his name,
On Donnie
Tom
or Batman? Who are you talking about?
Bane.
Okay.
What's his
Oh, so
name?
Batman.
What's his name? The guy who plays Bane. What's his name?
Oh, Tom Hardy.
Thank you. Thank you.
Or Tom Harley can understand him.
Tom, we can hardly understand him. Also, Tom
Exactly.
hardly 6 feet because
Wait. Oh yeah. He's.
he's,
You're right.
he's a short king. Victor Drago has that on him. He is
Yeah.
tall.
But the size difference, and I know it's a movie, but they're definitely not in the same weight class.
Yeah, I was. Thank you. I was gonna ask that, just like the same way I asked you last episode. I was like, "That is that's how a fighter's supposed to look." Is Victor Drago? He should he even be in the same weight class as Donnie? And you answered that. I don't. I don't think he should. I
So
think.
like they do the weigh-in usually a day before the fight,
Yeah.
and you'll see fighters like crazy dehydrated. Like you'll see the skin on their face like pressing up on their skull, and some of them just look super malnourished just to hit the weight. And then as soon as they get weighed in, you see them chugging like protein or Gatorade or whatever they're
Oh
drinking, and then they're
wow.
gaining the weight back. Yeah. So you just have to hit that weigh in, and then after weigh in during the fight, sometimes they will show like on the stats like how tall they are, their wingspan, and sometimes they'll show what they weigh that night, and you'll see like a huge difference sometimes of like several pounds ahead of the other guy.
And
Some of them,
the weigh-in is the day before.
yeah, is the day
Okay.
before. So if you want to try to believe that Victor and Donnie are the same weight, you could believe they were the same weight that night. And then the next day, he is bulked up or whatever. But that day, he already looks way heavier and bigger
And
than Donnie.
what happens if even like in the weigh-in, you're both weights are just out of each other's range? What happens? Or does that happen?
They would have to cancel the fight because they agree on the weight class. So you have to hit a
Mm,
certain weight. And then if one of the fighters don't make the weight, they have to cancel it. That's really what they would do, or reschedule, whatever. But
yeah.
yeah, and it's usually
And
like a big upset because it's like, are you serious? That's like super responsible, and you're a professional. You're supposed to be on top of that.
yeah.
It's happened a few times before, but yeah, and it's funny that even Ivan calls out Donnie. He's like, "Your father was bigger, or like you're smaller than your dad, right?" Did he say something like
Yeah.
that?
Yeah, he does. And I'm trying to suspend reality, but this movie has been doing really well, like the series has been doing pretty good in keeping the fights grounded in reality, at least for Creed 1 and 2 a bit. But what I'm getting at is I couldn't suspend reality for that. I was like, "How who agreed to this? He's like at his chin in height."
I was okay with this. I totally went along with it because it's like, yeah, this is the fight I want to see.
Ah,
This is a big, huge, scary fighter,
yeah,
and Donnie finally
scary.
has a challenge.
Donnie got humbled. You know what? That's how the movie subtitle could be. It's just Creed gets humbled. He got humbled big time this movie.
You know what it reminded me of? Punch Out.
I don't know what that is.
The game, the old game, like Mike Tyson's Punch Out, and there's like pixels, and you have to look up type in Punch Out. You'll see.
All right, all right.
And you'll see how the angle, like Donnie is literally punching up to reach Victor's face.
Oh, that game.
That's what I thought of. Punch Out.
This is very accurate. This is. I'm looking at a screenshot of the movie.
Yeah.
Check the Discord.
You see?
That's we gotta put that as a thumbnail. That's Creed 2.
Great. Yeah, so everybody who
Oh,
remembers Punch Out, we're looking at Little Mac. You know Little Mac, right? Like they put him in Smash Ultimate.
oh, okay.
Yeah, that's Little Mac. And then in this game, every boxer you fight against, they're always way bigger than you. So that's basically Creed too.
We were
And
just
I loved
watching
it.
a Punch Out adaptation.
Yeah, I didn't care that they were that much different in weight. It's just like, man, he's taking on Goliath
I like that reference,
for
but
his
it
for
did
his dad's honor.
it did make for a kind of satisfying poetic cinema at the end because Michael B bulked up. I just that California training montage. I saw it. I saw a difference. He was bigger for
Did
that
you like that
second fight.
montage?
I did. I like the music. I thought it was cool. I knew like the movies have a reoccurring theme that I was like, all right, if you train and there are cameras in the room, you're not going to win your fight. Do not let paparazzi see you fight. You got to go back to the basic. And so once Rocky took him to California and it was all that really cruddy stuff, I was like, "Oh, he's gonna
Yeah.
win. He's gonna go the distance."
So you saw the parallels there, right? I'll call them out. Like this is Rocky 4,
Yep.
Rocky training in Russia in the snow. Now we got Donnie training in the heat in the desert.
Even was it Rocky 3? He's like training in like the museum-ish, not museum, but like this gallery. People are coming and asking him questions while he's training, and Mickey's getting
Yeah.
mad at him. And then Apollo takes him to California, has him run on the beach.
Yeah. But I felt like this was more of the you gotta dig deep. You gotta callous your mind, as David Goggins would say. This is the
I knew
make a
it.
man out of you
It was coming.
training, you know?
Let's get down to business
Yeah,
to
so and then
defeat.
Rocky, he's like chopping
Oh, God.
logs, dragging sleds, and then same thing. It's like the functional training. It's like
Yeah.
basic, everyday,
What's
hard work.
you're a workout guy. What are you working out when you like hammer into the ground? What was he working out there?
He was working on making a hole.
Yeah. Yeah. Your
No,
accent
that
came out a little bit there. He was working on making
what
a
do you mean?
hole.
I don't know what you're talking about.
It's gonna be a tangent, but when he proposed to Bianca and he's
Oh
like, "Will
yeah.
you marry me?" Yo.
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 So is that a yo yes or a yo no?
Yes, but she's like my favorite character other than Rocky in this movie. I love her. I love Bianca.
So you like Tessa. I
Tessa
forgot her name.
Thompson.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
yeah.
forgot like Tessa, right? Yeah.
Tessa.
You like
I
Tessa again.
I do like their cute names for each other with D and B. That's really cute.
Yeah, DMP. Good couple
Mhm.
name.
Very good couple name. And she's the MVP for Donnie in this movie. She is there for him.
Mhm.
I love the conversation between her and Marianne, how she's like, I don't know what to do for him. And it's like he's stuck in a place that he can only get himself out of. And you just got to be there for him. I love that she performed his like walk in song. She's cool. She's really cool
Yeah,
in this
that's the scene
movie.
I want to call out because when I saw the movie again, showing my sister and brother-in-law, that was the scene all of us got hyped up about because I didn't remember every detail, but we were when Donnie was doing his walkout. Well, my sister called it out first. She's like, "I wonder what song he's gonna walk out to," and then we're waiting, and it's like, we're like, "It's her song. He's walking out to her song," and it's like, "She's walking out with them." Oh, we were so excited
Yeah.
about that. She was the first one
Yeah.
on the mic singing it live in Russia, getting
Right in
booed
front
at.
of him. I love
Yeah,
that.
that's that's awesome.
That is so cool. I love that.
Yeah, so everybody was hyped up in the house and in the theater too. Same thing for both movies. People were like, "Oh man," cheering, clapping every single punch.
I don't know how much this adds to the weight of how cool that scene is, or at least how cool I thought it was, but context, there's this clip kind of going viral on, insert social medias here, and it's
TikTok.
of the new American Idol season that's starting off. Katy Perry is giving feedback to this one girl who's auditioning. She has a beautiful voice, but she's singing in this style that people have dubbed singing in cursive, where you're not really enunciating the words correctly. Like I could sing the word dress, but they're like dress or whatever. And
Oh, she's fergifying it.
kinda, yeah. And that whole technique has been dubbed on the internet as singing in cursive. And so that had kind of infected my brain a little bit. And even there were times in like Creed 1 and Creed 2 where I noticed I was like, she's kind of singing in cursive. And I don't know how I feel about that, but all of that bias went out the door when that scene happened and she's singing his walk-in song. I thought that was so cool. So I don't know if
You're
that
like, I like songs in cursive
I was
now.
like, you know what? Cursive is fine. Cursive is pretty. And so is this
Yeah,
song. So I don't know how much that adds to it, but that did help me get rid of that bias a little bit.
writing in cursive is so cool. You could write so much faster. But then when I go home and look at my notes,
I can't
no,
read
I have no
it.
idea what.
I've tried now that I have my iPad and I play on it, I've tried like those like calligraphy stencils to help. I I'm not a fan of my handwriting. This is a very big tangent for the pod, by the way, but, like, I think my handwriting looks like messy Comic Sans, and it's just not.
Messy. Wow.
Yeah, yeah. I know what I'm saying. It's it's it
I think if I've ever seen your handwriting.
I've seen yours. I like your handwriting, but mine,
How have you seen mine?
we were playing, Telestrations?
Oh, yeah, I had to write some stuff, yeah.
Yeah,
So I
yeah,
think
and
I've
I
seen yours too, but I just don't remember messy Comic Sans.
these are things that I like. You know how you said that you like to pay attention to conversations and what people say and stuff?
Uh,
One of the things I pick up on is penmanship. I'm a huge, like, just I like penmanship. I like good
oh, okay.
penmanship. It's just a shame I don't have it.
Yeah.
So, like, I love Ashley's penmanship. Josh has good penmanship, but
Who doesn't
I
have good penmanship?
me I don't. It's just it's messy Comic Sans, man.
Okay.
And so I've been trying to, like, better it with the iPad stencils, and it's not. I don't think it's helping. I think it makes it worse. But part of that is I was trying to do cursive on it, and yeah, you're right. It's so easy to just stay on, pen to paper, and you're able to just write it out. But it looks good on the stencil, but when I try to put it on paper, it don't look as good. It's not as
Practice on
readable.
paper. I think it'll get you better faster.
I need the stencil, man. Sometimes I forget what the letter is supposed to look like.
Just pull up the alphabet in
it,
cursive and
in
then
cursive.
replicate that on paper.
I'm gonna feel like a first grader. I actually learned. It's funny because I learned cursive before I learned print in school. I went to a private school and they taught you cursive in kindergarten. So my
Mm.
first, like, 2 or 3 years, I was writing in cursive, and then once I got to the third grade, I went to a different school, and they immediately started me on print, and I just never. I lost my cursive skill.
It's probably still hidden in there, and you're
it's
doubting
buried.
yourself. You got to
It's
find yourself.
it's buried deep, deep, deep. What
It's
are you
very
writing
deep.
for?
Yeah. What are you writing for,
What are you
Carolyn?
writing for?
You have a pen pal or what? Poetry? You got to
I'm
find your
scared.
purpose.
I'm scared. That's
Okay, so let's talk about the movie, right? That's what this is about. So I like that scene
yeah, not
where
messy Comic Sans. No.
they finally related to what you just said, the joke you made. They finally brought up the reason, or like one of the strong reasons is, yeah, Donnie is scared that he can't live up to his father's legacy.
That's like my favorite scene in this whole movie.
In front of
That
the trophy case, right? And all that.
Yeah, yep. In, I guess, Creed's office, Apollo Creed's office, and talking to him and being like, he's got. Well, I wish I could remember word for word what he said, but I'm just gonna tell you the gist of it. Where he says, like, Rocky says he's got a lot of these nice things, these shiny things, but what things matter? Like, what really matters to you?
I relate to that.
Yeah,
It's
yeah, I do
true.
too. It's what's the different perspectives.
Yeah. And that's an underlying theme because Donnie has brought that up even in the first Creed.
Mhm.
And I forgot what he said, but maybe something like maybe that his dad is proud to have gone out a legend or something like that. And then Rocky says, I
Mhm.
think he would have prefer to be here with you
I
right
think you
now.
would prefer to be part of your life.
Yeah, like be here right now talking to you.
Yeah.
And it's like, yeah, you got to remember what you're fighting for and what's most important.
It reminds me a little bit of Hamilton because I think a lot of the themes in Rocky and I think especially in Creed is legacy. Like that's a huge theme is legacy. You're Apollo Creed's kid in the first movie, so it's
You're
like
a Creed.
you're a Creed or like does he feel like he can live up to the Creed legacy? And in this one it's
Yeah,
like can he defend? Is he worthy enough to uphold the Creed legacy? And there's a line in Hamilton where it says like and this is why I like Rocky's perspective in the movie, but the line I'll say first is a legacy is planting seeds in a garden you never get to see. And so
I
Rocky
like
is
that.
basically trying to tell him, the legacy isn't these things. It's what really matters. It's the things you have with you. It's the things that don't shine like this.
I like that. I'm a fan of that. I'm a fan of
That's
that.
that is something that I was like, was that GIF I sent you last week? I was like, wow,
Wow.
wiping the tear away.
Yeah. I wanted
It
to
was,
make a comparison too,
uh-huh.
and I'm gonna apologize to Davey right now
Oh
because
no.
this one's intentional. This
His
one I'm
ears are
planning
perking
for.
up.
This reminded me of Top Gun Maverick.
Uh-huh. Go ahead.
Wait, do you want me to? Na, 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 na. All right, so because I don't know if you thought about it too, but Rocky, for some reason, he's burdened with the decision to decide the fate of Apollo Creed and Adonis Creed. And is that not what Maverick had to do with Goose and
And
Rooster?
Rooster.
Yeah. They were friends before, they have a history together. Both fathers are gone now. Now it's the son. Now they have a journey they have to go on. And that really just I,
Poetic
I don't
cinema.
know. Yeah, it's a rough situation. It's rough, and I don't know why it fell on them to make that decision. But yeah, for Rocky, it was throwing in the towel, and he has to always live with that. It's like I could have
Could have
stopped that
saved it.
fight. Apollo could have been here right now. Same for Maverick.
Yeah, he was cleared of all wrongdoing, but he
Not
feels
in his
that,
mind,
yeah,
not in his heart.
he still has the weight, the guilt that
Yeah.
if he would have been a little bit safer, if he hadn't been a hot shot flying by the seat of his pants,
And
might still
now
have.
the son, now that decision comes
Yeah,
back again. Is like, all right, now Donnie wants to get in the ring.
my dad trusted you.
Yeah.
It's like parallels.
Right? This
Wow.
isn't a stretch, right?
No, it's not. It's not a stretch at all. I would even garner to say almost a perfect m- match for match in terms of themes here.
All right, well, yeah, that's it for the Top Gun segment.
No, it's not, but we'll pretend
No,
it
it's not.
is.
Okay. We didn't well, when we were talking about the proposal thing, I just wanted to
Mhm.
bring up because that's one of the two scenes that I really liked that Donnie went through because it was very relatable on how you could be so nervous during that sort of situation. So the first one was a proposal. He's
Uh-huh.
practicing getting down on one knee. He's like chugging wine or whatever it was, champagne. I don't know.
I audibly, when he said, like, "Oh, you gotta get down on one knee." People still do that? I went, "Yeah." Like,
Yeah, and I was
audibly.
thinking, wait, do people not do that for that to be a question?
You know what? No, because in a lot of rom-coms that I've seen recently, and I am a perpetual, you gotta get on one knee. I refuse, if my dude proposes to me and he doesn't get on one knee, it's a no. It's a come back again later, retry.
Wow.
He's gotta get on one knee.
What if he writes it in the sky with jets?
Then I better turn around and see him on one knee, like with the ring out. You're not excused. You gotta get on one knee.
And
That
that's
it's
a
the
no?
it's a come back and try again.
Wow.
Wisen up
All right,
and then
fellas
try
out there, you know
again.
the deal.
You got to get on one knee. I am a perpetual believer that the guy's got to get on one knee. And and I have seen a trend in, at least in movies, where the guy doesn't get on one knee and I'm there shouting at the TV like, "Get on one knee.
This
Get
is how
on
you
your
do it now.
knee."
Modernized proposals.
I hate it. You need to go back to the classics.
I'm a perpetual believer that the women has to say yo.
Yo, like yo, yes, or
Yo.
you trying to make
You
her a
could tell if
pirate?
it's a yo yes or you could
Yo,
tell if it's a yo no.
it's like yo. It's like, oh no, that's a no, bruh.
Yo. That's a no,
Yo,
yeah. Yo. And then yo, that's a yes.
yo.
Yo, my man.
If the Y is strong, it's a yes. If the O is strong, it's a no.
If the yo or
If the
yo.
yo, then that's a
Yeah.
yes. If it's a yo, it's like that's a no.
I'm getting confused for sure. I think you're right. I'm pretty sure you're right.
Y for yes, O for no.
Oh, for no. Yo. That's going to be a yo from me, dog. Is that a yes or a no?
Is that yo yes or yo no? I can't tell. I couldn't hear which syllable you emphasized.
I was watching. I don't know why. I think it was me, but I was watching Proposal Fails like a couple days.
Dude, you gotta send me that. I love those.
So you say the guy has to get down on one knee. We spoke about this before, but I also say if you care about this guy in any way, please say yes in public and tell him no in
No,
private.
that's
Please,
right.
if you want to say no, please
You gotta
spare
get on
him.
one knee.
But
I
if he's
will.
been rude to
If he
you
gets
and
on
if
one.
he
Oh
he's
yeah, if he like
delusional,
if he's like cheated on you and clearly this ain't gonna
yeah,
work out, but he still proposes.
or if he's delusional and you guys been dating 1 month and is like, "Whoa, where is this coming from?" Then yeah, you could say no.
Nah, dog.
But
That's
anyways,
it,
that's that.
yo.
And then the second scene, this was the
Uh-huh.
first scene. The second scene is when he was with Amara and he's calling his mom. He's like, "Ma, how do
Oh,
I get her to stop
how do I
crying?"
get her to stop crying?
Yeah.
Oh, that as a former nursery worker, that's a real struggle. I was calling my mom. She was like in church, and I was like, "Mom, I don't know how to get the kids to stop crying. Help!"
Hmm.
That's a
Right? That's
struggle.
relatable.
That is so relatable.
So for me, my strat with that, and I don't have kids, I have niece and nephews, but if they're already taken care of, clean diaper, fed, and all that, and they're just crying, I just let them cry. I hold them until they're done crying. Yeah, I can't panic. I just got to ride it out. And
Hmm.
usually, like with my niece, like she would fall asleep. Like she would just cry and cry and cry, and I'm like walking her back and forth, walking back and forth, and then she'll fall asleep. Which is another thing that I thought was really funny because that's what Donnie did. He like took her
That's
out of the
exactly what
house.
happened. Yeah.
And it's like, yeah, that's the strat, guys. That's the strat. You either take them for a walk, carry them and go out, like walk around the block, take them on the stroller, do something, and then that'll help out.
I am that baby. My dad has told me that when I would cry, he would put me in the car and drive around the block with the
That's what you got
radio
to do.
on. He was said specifically he would have the radio on at a low volume. So cuz I would like tune into the sound, I guess or whatever, and I would stop crying. But just like the motion of the car and hearing this like the tunes, I would knock out.
Was he playing like the Sonic soundtrack or something?
He was playing to all of my Christian kids from the early 90s, Jackie Velasquez, the Na 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 song. If you know, you know.
The Na 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 song?
Yeah, if you know, you know.
I like it.
I'll have to show it to you after the pod. But yeah,
Okay.
then that's gonna be a deep cut for some Christian kids.
All right.
But yeah,
I'll be here for that.
that works. That definitely works. And I don't have any baby members that I have access to all the time. My cousins have kids, but they're their own thing. They don't come over as often. And I'm not a aunt in any way, but I did work in a nursery for a month and I hated it because I moved up to the older kids after that. And yeah, you really do you just gotta hold them. I think like one of the workers there, the nursery told me that they can smell fear. So if you're anxious, they're gonna be anxious. So
Yeah. Yep.
you just gotta be calm. You gotta let them ride it out. My mom used to tell me a baby only cries when they need something, and that could even mean like attention or being held and stuff. So they either need, check their diaper, feed them, play with them, anything. Maybe they're teething. So you just got to be there. You just got to hold
I
them.
wouldn't even say like it's okay, you're okay. I would never do
Yeah,
that
I wouldn't
because I feel
either.
like that's a challenge to them. Like it's not okay, crying for more hours. So I would never say it's okay. I just carry them and I try to stay calm, and then they could, smell my calmness and then go to sleep.
I don't know how valid this is, but I remember seeing like a post on I think it was Instagram or whatever, and it said like when a kid falls or if a baby like tumbles a little bit, if the adult goes like and like tries to be like that, they can kind of sense your I don't know, your panic and they think something's wrong, so they start crying. But if
Yep.
you react calmly and you just check on them and stuff, they'll be like, "Oh, okay. I'm all right."
Yep.
And I
It's
did that.
true.
I would straight up I even did that with like older kids whenever I was one of the like supervisors outside and one of the kids would fall and like scrape their knee or whatever, I would be like, "It's fine. Let's go to the first aid." And they would just be like, "Oh, okay." It's like if you react calm, they'll be calm.
Yeah. I've seen clear examples of that depending on like what family members are around. Usually my mom has been pretty panicky lately about her grandchildren.
Of
And
course.
then that's when it's like, yeah, they fall and it's like, oh no, you're okay, you're okay. And then crying starts.
Eh.
But then if they fall and then we're just like continuing on, like barely even give attention, they just get back up and
I
keep playing.
hate that I relate to like the kid aspect of this, but yeah, I was that kid. If I fell in front of my mom, my mom was straight up like, "You're fine. It's okay. Come on, I'll put some Neosporin on you." If I fell in front of my dad, dude, I was milking that. I was crying the whole day, and I wouldn't shut up until he got me an ice cream.
Caroline.
We're at
You've been
90%
manipulating
honesty.
your dad since you were 3 years old?
Since I was 2. That's why they're called terrible twos.
Wow. You never left the terrible phase.
Wow.
What?
Wow. Wow.
Yo.
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 Is that a yo yes or yo no?
That's a yo
We'll leave
wow.
that up to the listeners. Yo, wow.
That's a lipstick in my white Valentino bag. That's a wow.
All right, so I'm checking my notes here for some things. I want to make a quick call out to the beginning of the movie. Actually, it's not close to the beginning, but maybe leading up to the first fight with Victor. And
Mhm.
then they're in Philly. They see Rocky statue, and you see a
Yeah.
scene of people running up the steps and then doing the Rocky cheer at the top.
Yeah. Da-da-da. Uh-huh.
I thought this was really cool because it's interesting how they were able to do that, because in real life we do that because we saw the movie Rocky.
That's a thing.
So people do that because Rocky is a famous movie. But
Yeah.
in the movie,
They do that
people
because
do that because they
Rocky
have a local
is
hero.
famous.
They have a local hero, and probably those are kids that were running alongside Rocky and seen
Or
him training.
maybe not in this movie, because that happened in Rocky too.
Well, I'm saying like the way that is spread, because this is
Yeah.
like a
Like a
local
local.
thing, a local
Yeah.
legend kind of thing.
It
So
goes
probably
back
the
to
kids that were running with Rocky have kids, explain the story, or people saw Rocky training, and yeah, I really like that.
I'm gonna go back, tell him this movie's about legacy. That's Rocky's legacy. But does it matter if his son and him don't talk?
Oh,
Oh,
now we saw the end of the movie. What did you think?
Tony, that little boy looks just like Adrian.
I
It's
know.
it's almost like they got her grandkid. It's like
Yeah.
there's no way they're not related. That
They
little
really
boy,
found somebody who looked like her.
that looks just like Adrian. Like it's uncanny. And I'll tell you, I cried and no amount. I had puro mexicana tissues, aka the toilet paper, right next to me, and
AKA tortillas.
shut up. That's so
Don't
gross.
bring
I
that up.
I cannot think about that right now.
Okay,
But
well, all right.
I was a mess at that. That is just oh that's poetic right there. It's
So
just
you were happy with
oh
this
yeah.
reunion. All
It
right,
was
good.
it was a combination of emotions, but happy and sad were in equal measures because it's like aw, but also wow. It's just tears, man, tears. But it was you could even just the acting in this movie is amazing because the guy who plays Robert Balboa, you can even see his eyes getting all watery when he sees Rocky and
Now, just in case you didn't know, because I know we both didn't see Rocky Balboa,
yeah.
he's in that movie. Same actor,
Oh, okay.
same son actor. Yep.
So in Rock okay, well, you haven't seen it. I was about to ask a question about that movie, but I'm curious now about some things. But yeah, it's that was a really, really sweet ending, especially the way it's shot in parallel to Donnie at the graveyard.
Yeah,
That whole
we
thing,
never got
man.
to see
The headstone
Apollo's
and
headstone until now. Yeah.
I wonder like this is just like a nitpick. It's not even a thing. I wouldn't even say it's a nitpick. It's an overthinking thing. In his headstone, they don't have Marianne. It's just Apollo Creed. Typically, when
She's
you're married,
probably
you
like
share your
off to the
headstone with
left
your
or
spouse.
something.
She's like, they'll add on, they'll put her photo to the right. But he like has those
Yeah.
two trees and stuff. I was like, what, Marianne, huh?
They
But
probably
yeah,
just gotta, yeah.
that's just an overthinking thing on my part.
They just gotta dig it up when it's time.
They gotta dig it up.
Yeah. But this is part of the reasons why I like this movie. There's a lot of great stories coming to a satisfying conclusion.
Legacy,
So Donnie
man.
and Bianca, Rocky and his son, even Victor and
Victor and
Ivan.
Ivan.
Yeah, it's great. It's really well done.
We got to talk about Amara. That cute,
Amara Creed.
that cute little baby.
Yeah.
She is so cute. I want to pinch her cheeks.
So this is another one that I liked that Donnie, because reasonable thinking would be like, all right, if I have a baby that's deaf, we'll just learn sign language. It's all good.
Hmm.
But for him, it was a big deal, and he felt emotional about it. And then obviously Bianca didn't feel too good about it. She felt some sort of guilt or shame,
Yeah,
and I'm thinking, wow, this is really good. I
that's
like that
raw
it's a
stuff. I
struggle.
like
Yeah.
that. That is when I think I told you it was like right after the hotel, not the hotel, I'm sorry, the hospital, when after Donnie got beat up, that's when the movie like started for me. So I was in, and that whole arc of them with Amara in the hospital, that's like raw writing right there. That was a real struggle. There wasn't any glamorization or kind of like gloss over it of, yeah, like the way you said, okay, well, we'll have to pick up sign language. It's like, no, like, I can see parents being that like distraught over it. And be I love when Rocky is like, okay, but what if what if she's not okay? Are you still gonna love her?
Yeah, because he's
You
like, they're gonna do other tests. Sometimes the first ones are give false
give false
positives or whatever.
positives. Yeah. He's like, are you still gonna love her? He's like, what kind of question is that? He's like, well, you gotta be prepared. You gotta know.
I like my favorite line from that dialogue is when he said like, she's not in there feeling bad for herself.
Yeah, because you're out here feeling sorry for her, but she's not feeling sorry for herself.
Yeah,
I love
Rocky's
that.
words of
Rocky
wisdom.
is so wise. And maybe that's what it is. I hated the disrespect he got from Donnie in the beginning of this movie.
That could be it.
You don't talk bad about Rocky Balboa. You
I
needed
love
him.
that. I wrote down that I love the family they have.
Have you seen that meme where it's like a family doesn't have to be just a mom, a dad, and the kids? A family can also be and then like insert
I
other
remember.
things.
No, I haven't seen that format. No.
There's a little bit of like a meme, I guess, online where it's probably died off, but it has a thing where I'll use like Lilo and Stitch as an example, where it's like a family doesn't have to be just a mom, dad, and the kids. A family can also be a sister, a younger sister, an alien, and three space alien uncles.
Yeah,
Like
I could already imagine what people could put in that.
you could,
Like stupid scenes and sitcoms where like friends are like taking care of the baby for a day and then is like a screenshot of that or something, or
yeah, yeah.
just
It's
dumb
like
things like that.
you could insert a lot into this, but that's what I
Yeah.
felt like in this movie, where it's like a family can also be, you know, D, B, Amara, and Uncle Rocky.
I just thought it was so cool. It was a scene when Rocky and Donnie were talking, and then they get the call from his mom, and he's like, "What? Right now?" Okay, and then they run over, and then it's like, "All right, now hold on, just remember this because this is gonna be the most or like the greatest day in your entire life,
This
and
is
you
the
got to remember."
greatest night in your entire life. You got to be there and support her.
And that's what I like. Like as soon as he went in, you see Rocky there, you see Marianne there. It's like, wow, this is
This
their
is
family. This
family.
is so cool.
I feel like I'm having a baby.
I feel like Rocky's my uncle.
No, that's what Rocky said. He's like, I feel like I'm having a baby.
I know. I remember.
That is something though that makes me think of like the same with the proposal thing. I do not want my husband in the delivery room.
What?
I do not. uh-uh.
You gotta let it be known to this unassuming young man
He's got rules. I've
that
already told my
yeah,
dad.
there's
It's
gonna
like,
be a
Dad,
lot of rules.
I'm not gonna tell him. You gotta tell him for me, Dad. I don't want to come up across as too.
Wow.
but I even told my dad, I was like, "You're not gonna be in the delivery room either. You're gonna be with my husband out in the hallway. Like, you keep him calm out there. Let me do my thing."
So who's gonna help you?
The doctor and the Lord.
Strangers. You want strangers to be in there with you. Wow. Okay.
I'm gonna do my thing. Just do not let him in.
Wow.
Do not let him in. I've seen. I don't know. It calls like I've seen women that are friends say like their husbands look at them differently whenever they after they see them give birth, and I'm just like, you know what? I'm gonna bypass that whole process. You're not coming in.
Look at them differently in a bad way?
I don't know. It's just
When they told you this, was it
this is
in
a
a bad
huge
way?
tangent for the pod. It was kind
You
of in a
brought it up.
negative light, but I'm just saying that backs up my reasoning. It's not without a reason.
I
But
don't
they just
know.
like usher him into the room, and I'm sitting there thinking, that couldn't be me. Get him out.
Caroline, this is like getting down on one knee. This is traditional. You want your spouse there. I would hope
Well,
once you grow to love this
traditionally,
man.
traditionally, no. Traditionally, the guy's not supposed to be in the room
We've been doing this for decades now.
for decades. Like,
Yeah.
yo said, we
I'm talking about we fellas.
men
We
in
go in
general.
that room getting ready to look at our wives differently.
No. Just focus
Look,
on getting on the knee.
look,
That's it.
hold on. No, we're still on
Make it
this. Hold on.
easy on you.
No, hold on a second. You can't choose both. Either you
What?
get a man who kneels and goes in the room with you, or you get a man who proposes to you with jets in the sky and doesn't go in the room with you. Because
No,
the
I don't agree
modern
with
man
this.
cannot do both. The
I don't
modern
agree
man
with
is not
this.
going to get down on one knee.
Why
all
are
right?
you putting limits on the modern man, huh?
Because modern men are decaying, okay?
I think a high value man will be able to compromise with my ideals.
Perfect. Yeah. Totally send them a letter saying exactly what you just said. This is a very strict list that I'm learning about today.
It's two things.
Oh, I'm sure there's much more. It's
Nah.
just being put to light right now.
Nah. It's two things. I have
So
quotes
far.
here.
All right. What are your quotes?
I have a good quote from Rocky where he says, "Why don't you turn off your brain and let your heart do the talking?"
Aw.
That's life advice right there, man.
I like when Donnie asked him, "How did you propose to Adrian?" And he said, "I hope you wouldn't
Oh,
mind, marrying me
if you
very
wouldn't
much."
That's like quote for quote, Rocky too.
It's so funny because he literally said that. He said,
Yeah,
"Well, I
that's
basically asked her if she wouldn't mind marrying me very much." And then if you look at Rocky too,
I hope you wouldn't mind marrying me
marry me
much.
very much.
He took her to the zoo.
Oh, that's awesome.
That is something though. When I was watching Rocky 2, I was like, get on one knee. Get on one knee, Rock. Get on one knee.
I thought you were gonna say something else. I thought I was gonna discover another
Oh god.
item on your strict list.
Another
It's
Carolinism.
like it cannot be at a zoo, okay?
No. I was gonna say I was there rooting for him to get on one knee.
Okay. I don't remember. Did he get on one knee?
He did. I don't remember either. I don't want to bash on Rock, but
Yeah, because you're gonna completely change your opinion if he did not get on one knee.
I'm gonna be really
You're gonna
sad
be
if
like,
I
"Oh, I guess it's
remember.
kind of okay,"
No, I'm not. I still don't approve. You know what? I'll look it up. Rocky proposal. Let's see here. Rocky proposes to. Wow, he was so young. Tony, he does not get on one knee.
So now, what do you think about gentlemen who do not get on one knee?
He should have gotten on one knee.
Adrian still said yes.
Yeah, that's Adrian. Adrian ain't me.
That's Adrian.
Ain't
She's
no one
wrong.
like me except
Yeah.
me. For every Adrian, there's a Rocky. And for every Caroline, there's somebody.
I just imagine you're gonna be like, "All right, and it's got to be next month. All right, you're gonna get down on
No,
one knee.
I
We're
am
gonna
not
be
that.
in Paris,
No, we're
in
not.
front
Why
of
do I want
the
to go
Eiffel
to
Tower,
Paris? Ew.
next to the rack.
Next to the rats. We're gonna have a ratatouille
I
proposal.
want a rat to put a ring on my finger. I want
I
you to
hate
hand the rat the ring.
you're ruining this imagery. You could not have picked a more nightmarish proposal setting. This is terrible. I'm getting chills just from thinking about all the rats.
I wrote down what I want you to say to me. Keep this in your pocket.
No,
This is
absolutely
the
not.
exact ring I want. I'm going to send you the link, the Amazon link.
I do have a ring that I want, but who does it? What girl does it? I'm not that detail oriented, man. I just gotta.
I want you to give a piece of cheese to the rat after he successfully put the ring on my face.
Okay, enough rats. No more rats. You just really want to picture this Ratatouille wedding. I lift
Yeah.
up my man's hat. It's Remy underneath.
That is really Remy proposing to you. Remy's down on one knee in his head. Remy tells him to get down on one knee. He
Holding his
reminds
hair.
him that you.
He's there pulling the strings.
Yeah. He reminds him to get down on one knee because Remy remembers that you.
Remy's always the MVP. My guy was about to pull out the box, but his hair gets tugged.
All right. Let us know how your Ratatouille proposal.
I am not having a Ratatouille proposal.
Oh, you'll see.
I don't know if you noticed, this is just a thing that maybe only you and I would appreciate, but in Rocky's little phone book, when it has his son's name, his son's phone number ends in the number 117.
Yes, and I was even going to bring up the phone book. I even wrote down Rocky has a phone book. That's a note of mine because I just wanted to bring it up in general.
That's so cute.
You guys remember phone books? Just a
he
question.
He doesn't even have a cell phone, right?
I don't know. I don't think I've ever seen him holding a phone.
No, because if he was going to use the hospital phone to call. Yeah. That means he doesn't even have a cell phone. My grandma has a cell phone. Someone's got to get this guy. Someone's got to get this guy a phone.
Rocky is more grounded. You know, he's in the moment.
He really is. He took a train for 3 days. Like that's a grounded guy right there. Yeah, that's like so sweet. But like it also just shows like, you know, he's a humble guy. I imagine he's got money. You know, he was, you know, world champion, and then he's got the restaurant. He's got money, but he doesn't fly. He's like, I'm gonna take a train. Mm-hmm. Grounded dude. Love to see it.
So, did you have any more quotes?
I do. I'm trying to remember it correctly. I have it written down here, but it's in the last fight when the ref is trying to, I guess it's after Donnie's been knocked down, I don't know, second time, whatever time. And the ref is there saying, "What's your name?" And he's like, "Creed." "What's your name?" "Creed." I was
yeah,
like, yes.
That fight was really good.
Dude, and then the music, you can hear it.
When he gets up, right? When he has to get up again, for like the final round, and then the camera zooming in just on Creed, like ready to take on the fight. It's good.
That last fight was good because it wasn't just like, I don't know how to put it, because every fight has an element of tactics where, you know, you have to be smart too. You know, it's not just punchy, it's also thinky. But this fight felt more smart, if that makes sense. It just felt like it had more strategy in it because he's going up against such a huge guy. So,
and because we had Rocky in our corner.
Oh yeah. If it was anybody else in my corner, I wouldn't do it. But I got you.
But yeah, you're right. That's why Donnie lost the first fight. First of all, he didn't have Rocky. He didn't have proper training. But yeah, Victor is just raw strength. He just punches right through you. He's knocking you out. So when Rocky's back in the corner and that training, and by the way, this is the only quote I called out really in my notes. And I don't know why, but I just like that. Okay, this is the line that determines the rest of this fight. And this is when they're deciding. Donnie says, "I want to take the fight. Like I want to do it. I have to do it." And then Rocky's like, "Okay, but it can't be up to decision, right? You remember that?
Yeah,
Because in
yeah.
Russia they'll have the favor. The judges will be like, it's Victor if it goes out to decision."
Yep.
So
He's like, "We gotta beat him without the judge's decision."
yeah, and he's like, if you want to change things in a big way, you have to make some big changes, and that's when it goes right into the montage, and that's where you see, okay, this is a strategy. You got to stay right up next to him.
Mhm. He's gonna overextend his right arm. You gotta,
Mhm.
dodge him and then hit him with the left.
That training to keep the feet in the tire, amazing, amazing idea,
Amazing. Yeah. It
and then
reminded
just
me
duke
of,
it
like,
out.
the shoestring in Rocky 1.
Yeah, shoestring and chasing chickens.
Yep. Simple, basics. But continue.
But yeah, it was perfect because the first fight was lost because Donnie didn't have the strategy, the technique, and Victor had all the strength to take him out.
Oh,
And
yeah.
then second fight with the strategy, with the new determination, oh, it was perfect. And it's just so good because even the announcers say it. They say Victor never had to go past the fourth round. He's always knocked somebody out before the fourth round. And it's true in real life to these knockout artists. They're so used to knocking people out so early that they never have to do any conditioning or need to build their
Mhm.
stamina to go further. But Donnie, he took it all the way to the end.
He went the distance.
You knew it was going to be a better fight too, just off the first round, because he was dodging, he was
Yep.
juking, he was
Yep.
landing shots. He's like, "All right, Donnie, you're doing good, man. This looks solid."
Yep.
And then compared to the first match, he was limping after the first round. He
Oh, it
limped
was
back to his corner.
astronomically different. The whole even the way he carried himself was different.
And you know what else I saw that was different?
Hmm.
If you look at Bianca's reactions leading up to the fight, like even him deciding to take it, the weigh-ins, if you look at Bianca's reactions to Ivan's reactions, Ivan is laid back. He's like, my son got this. All
Oh,
right.
yeah.
Round two is all good. And then Bianca is just nervous. She looks like she's in a panic the whole time. And yeah, second fight, nah.
Nah.
Everyone, we're all on the same page for this one.
It's High School Musical time because 'cause we're all in this together.
Thank you. And that's it. That's the build up to an incredible fight.
That
This is what we
was
all wanted to see.
that was a really good fight. A really good fight. Even and then the way it just the culmination of it all when Donnie's got him in the corner and is just wailing on him, and the bloody towel getting thrown in is just
Yeah.
wow. Wow.
Oh man. So
It's
yeah,
good. It's good.
I don't know what else this movie could have done. I think is pretty much exactly what I wanted to see from
And
the story.
I think it's I don't wanna spoil Creed 3 for you, but, like, I know a
What?
thing,
Oh,
and
whoa, whoa, whoa,
maybe
whoa,
you know a thing.
whoa, 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 whoa. No, 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 no. I don't know anything about Creed 3. Don't even attempt to spoil anything about it.
Then I will not be pursuing this line
I
of
can't believe you even
conversation.
thought about something like that.
I'm just saying, it's not even a spoiler, but it's
No,
kind of a spoiler for
no,
you.
it is. Yes.
Then I will not be pursuing this
Thank
line of
you.
conversation.
Thank you. All right. I'm seeing it soon.
I don't know if I'm gonna see it soon. I might go see Dungeons& and Dragons first.
Oh yeah. Okay. A lot of good movies coming out this month.
It's a good time. What a time to be alive.
We got Shazam. We got John Wick Chapter 4. We got
Dungeons& and
D&D.
Dragons, we got
Yeah.
I feel like there's another one, but I can't remember.
Creed 3.
Creed 3.
Yeah. But yeah.
Just solid movie. Solid movie, solid ending. Uh I gotta give a call out to Tessa's, or I guess Bianca's outfit in the first fight. Even though Donnie lost, she was slaying in that
She
outfit.
won
She won the
the
fashion award.
fashion challenge. Yeah.
She was so cute. I love her little hat. It's just she's the
Hmm.
best dressed person in that stadium. I'm trying to look up what else in my notes. I've said all my quotes.
So
Just
have
keep
I.
Solid movie, man. Solid movie.
All right, I think that's all we got for Creed 2.
Everybody, thank you so much for listening. I can finally do the outro this week. We've been cutting it off abruptly. And if it is your first time hearing,
All right,
hopefully
goodbye.
it's